Let's get back to another round of Brewsday Tuesday with DreZ and Big Nate.
I missed. Oh. Okay.
Right off the noggin.
And then into my glass.
Hey, that's double points.
So yeah, that gray one is mine, by the way. You snagged the wrong one, buddy. Obviously, that's
exactly what I can see why.
It has the oomph.
You were giving Huck the defective bottle cap gun all this time.
Well, no, I don't think so. I think you just came over and grabbed it. It is Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Southern Restaurant and Six Pack Store in downtown Blacksburg. I don't know. I guess this one just might not have enough spring in its step.
If you go back and watch all of the videos of Huck and I never hit him once.
Yeah.
So the fact that I just had such a beautiful shot.
Well,
I was not aiming for your face though.
No,
because I've got this mic stand right in my way. So.
Yeah. Well, it's all good. It's all good. Honestly, frankly, we did that as an homage, but I think I'm going to retire the shooters because I hate having to chase the caps.
You have to find the caps.
It's such a pain in the ass finding those caps. So continuing on the theme of beers that usually Huck and I wouldn't really have on the show, both of these are from Parkway, by the way. I have A Moment on the Lips, which is a chocolate orange milk stout coming in at 7%, which I think is going to be a pretty dark beer. Let's find out for all you that are watching on the Facebook and or the YouTube there, as expected.
So I've got the also Parkway, as you mentioned, the Cockadoodle Brew, a coffee ale. It's brewed with coffee. Seems pretty self-explanatory, and I couldn't resist.
So it's not dark. So yeah, so it's a coffee ale.
Ale, and I poured it, and it smells just
coffee.
It doesn't smell like beer at all. You could spill this on yourself if you were, I don't know, drinking at work and still have plausible deniability.
So that's interesting because, I mean, when you think, like we've been talking, the stouts, the porters are usually the more coffee-esque. A coffee ale, you rarely see those. And so what kind of an ale? Does it have more of a description in there and a delve? Or is ale, is that just I know that's just sort of a generic term.
As in-depth as they've got.
I guess it's a coffee ale. That's probably its own thing.
Brewed with coffee roasted by small local roasteries. This delightful golden ale is blended with cold brew coffee. Ooh, cold brew coffee. That explains the smell. And subtle citrus notes. Rise and shine. It's only 5.9% ABV.
Well, as we're talking about smell, I hadn't inhaled this glass, but you can definitely pick up the orange on the nose on this one, man. It's going to be interesting to have a co-host that actually can smell the beer. Huck, I don't know what it is, but he can't smell. And this is pre-COVID, of course.
Yeah.
He just never really could smell, which is strange.
That's that. I run into that at home. The wife, Cindy, can't smell anything because of a pre-existing nasal condition, and she can't smell anything. So it's real convenient. The kids basically have to say, "Look, I need my diaper changed," whereas I have to smell it.
Oh,
so it's
yeah.
You think hosting a beer show with someone who can't smell is rough? Try parenting with them.
That's one of those things where, when they first were talking about, the symptom, lost the taste and smell. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't want to lose that, but at the same time, it does have its benefits, and I'm sure as a parent, that would be one of them. To not have to smell certain things would probably be a blessing in disguise.
Oh, for sure.
As long as you have the other parent that can have that, that sense to.
Well, yeah, but I think if you have that luxury, you should be the one to change and deal with all the nasty smells.
Agreed.
Because you don't have to smell it. But I lost that battle somehow.
Wow. Yeah. That's. I don't know. Yeah, Cindy knows how to play her cards right now.
She does.
So get back to the beers though. So if you had to pick, what's your favorite style of beer?
It has definitely changed. It's been an evolving thing over the past few years.
I know what you mean.
But, kind of as I've explored things more, I got to go with sours or gozes are my absolute favorite.
Oh.
I'm a sucker. If I see it on the menu, I'll order it above anything else. Doesn't really matter what it's made with. And I don't know why. I think it's because there's such a lack of control with the process of making them. Because a lot of them are made by accident. The gozes, of course, have the salt added, but the sours, that's wild yeast. So you have no real, you kind of just pucker up, take the ride, and get what you get, and I love when they're confident enough to put that out as a product and
So
then replicate it.
So as far as, you know, a standout, because I know that sours, goses it does seem like a growing thing, and maybe it's because, you know, BB, that's her go-to, so I'm more aware of them and look for them more, but they do seem more apparent now more than ever, and there's definitely, especially Ballad has that big sour series that every time I go, there's a new can. They always have that same design. And the last one, and I always look them up in Untapped, and I'm like, man, how have we not had this one before? It's just all the different fruits. It's mango, it's blueberry, it's cherry, it's lime, and they're all. I mean, again, I'm not a sour guy, but you know, she seems to like them.
The best I've ever had, and I could be wrong. I don't know if this brewery's still around. Over in Blacksburg, right? Mine Brewing.
Yeah.
Oh, they're still around? Okay. They did this limited run. It was a dill pickle sour. It was called Pickle Rick. Easily, like, that was above and beyond.
Was it really the beer, or are you a Rick and Morty fan? And you're like, is it all of the above?
I actually didn't really understand Rick and Morty. That was not really my thing. It was pure. I'm a sucker for pickles, and it was just such a good flavor. There was that one, and then Golden Road Brewing out in California had a jalapeno cucumber sour that was also absolutely phenomenal.
Cucumber. So, you know, that's on the verge of pickle, you know, if you're going down that road. And yeah, I have seen the pickle beer. There's been a few. Those pop up every now and then. It's an acquired taste. Let's just put it that way.
Oh yeah, I'm certain it's not for everyone.
Definitely.
And, I do think it's more ballsy to go with, like, to me, sweet pickles, like the bread and butter chips, would make more sense to make a beer with. But if you're just going full hog into the dill pickle, that's bold, uncharted territory.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I never see. I like salty stuff, and honestly, when I was a kid, I hated pickles. Like, you know, if the pickle even touched, you know, a chip or a sandwich, like, not doing it. And I've come to, you know, appreciate them. If you get the pickle spear with a sandwich, you know, I'll maybe take a bite or two. But I always ask, because people love pickles, and if somebody else would appreciate it more, I'm happy to give the pickle away. That being said, yeah, I'm not fully on board with the pickle. Like, I know I'm a whiskey guy. A lot of people do the picklebacks, and I just cannot even. I would have to chase the pickle with whiskey, because, like, that would just not be my cup of tea.
I love a good pickleback. The one I've seen that I'm hesitant on is the. Of course, you're already buying moonshine from a store, which feels wrong. But the Old American pickle moonshine with the pickles in it. That's I think where I draw the line. I haven't tried it yet, and there's good reason. First of all, the liquor store shouldn't be selling food products. Second of all, I'm a little skeptical.
The store-bought moonshine stuff, I'm still I don't know. I don't know how it just started up not that long ago, and we actually made a trip to Pigeon Forge, and apparently there's like the world's most visited moonshine or distillery. I don't know if it's a distillery. It must be Moonshine place, but it's because it's just a tourist trap. But yeah, they had all the different flavors and stuff, and pickled was one of them. But there's just something about it, because I have had the store bought ABC moonshine, and to me it's not moonshine. It's really not. Like, once you've had proper moonshine, Once your buddy John comes around with his apple pie and the pineapple upside down cake and stuff, that's moonshine.
You shouldn't be able to comfortably finish a jar, and you absolutely can with the store-bought stuff.
There's no
it's
way.
You're supposed to feel moonshine.
Yeah, the store-bought stuff's 40%.
Yeah,
that's not moonshine.
No.
And even if you get the like White Lightning one that's just clear and just regular whatever, and it's like, I don't know, 110 proof. Woo, wow, look out. That's still not moonshine, man.
I also want the guy to have put it, if they're doing a flavored one, I want him to have, like, for some reason gone out to the store and bought, like, just terrible apples. Yeah, these are like a bushel for $1. All right, get these. And I want him to put that in the moonshine himself. I don't need, these factory inspected products. Moonshine's supposed to be dangerous.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be, and they try, like, they put them in like mason type jars, but it's not supposed to have a label on it.
It's the equivalent to Will Smith being your parents' favorite rapper.
Yep.
It's safe.
I think you're right on there, man. Right on there with that. Now, thank goodness we're not drinking moonshine. We're drinking good old-fashioned beer. Parkway Brewing, just right up the road. I know we've actually had both Mike and his wife, who's over there at Longway, in the studio. And you know what? Maybe we need to invite them back. Like you said, we'll get back to maybe try and go down that road. But how's your coffee ale treating you? What was the ABV on that, by the way?
5.9%.
Okay,
which
so
is on the higher side for an ale. But
yeah, that's the baby beer of the bunch. We actually usually we start with the bigger beers second, but it looks like we went backwards because this is the moment on the lips is a 7%. So both of them a little bit weaker than the first round, but
yeah, I mean, Parkway's a really solid brewery. I'm hard pressed to remember one that I've had, and I've had quite a bit of their brews that has been not fantastic, and the trend continues. Coffee ale is kind of pretty genius. It doesn't have all that weight, so it doesn't weigh you down. And of course, they do say "rise and shine" right here on the label, implying that you would wake up with this beer. I could, in fact, wake up with this beer. My life might be on a downward spiral, but pretty damn solid. It's got a lot of the coffee, not a lot of beer flavor to it, but there is a lingering aftertaste. It's damn near transparent, but
it looks like beer.
Yeah, it looks like beer, smells like coffee, tastes like coffee. It's a good trick. It's a magic trick of a brew, if you will. On Untapped, I would have to give it a 4.5.
Oh, all right. Wow. A nice jump. And on Untapped, he is Big Nate Danger. Just give him a look up. I'm DreZ Drinks on there. The moment on the lips, full disclosure, I'm pretty sure I've had this beer before. I bet I could look it up on Untapped and confirm that. But it is a chocolate orange milk stout. Now, one thing when it comes to holidays, we're right on the back of it, and I actually just finished it yesterday. I always get the smashable orange chocolate ball things. I always buy it for the whole family. It goes in the toe of the stocking. It's kind of become a tradition. So I am a huge sucker and love the orange chocolate. And it's that in a beer. So this is pretty delicious. Again, it is a milk stout, which isn't necessarily my forte when it comes to styles. But you throw in the orange chocolate, make it a 7%, and I'm a happy camper. On that nose, too, man. I think this is probably a 4.5 as well. This is
a solid round, is what this has been.
Yeah, big ups to Mike and the guys at Parkway, man. They're doing some good stuff down there. Now, next week, I guess you're going to take the range. We'll see what happens.
It'll be an adventure.
It will be. It'll be an adventure to the beer store and see what they have on the shelf, and we will go from there. Hey, man, I appreciate you coming in. It's weird. I usually say, thanks for bringing the beer, thanks for coming in, but you're here anyways, so I guess it's thanks for sticking around after your show a little bit longer for me.
Totally worth it.
Absolutely, and we'll do it again next week. Right now, we're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to teleport over to Macadoo's as fast as I can for the Bear Tip-Off Show. Virginia Tech taking on NC State tonight, 7 o'clock tip. We're going to be on out there with some Tech tickets and some free food and all that good stuff if you want to come and join us. And we will do that after the break, after some tunes, right here on 105.3 The Bear. Stick around.